This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast no hands stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up, got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. Yeah. It's getting crazy out here, y'all. Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, you can find your way, man. Yeah, take a look around you, you can find your way, man. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice payday. You don't wanna say that. You don't want this payback. I keep my composure, this my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, own it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of me to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All the young niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had. Stop looking at trends. You wearing your heart like it's topical. Clearly now, the pain is gone. The fame is on. And they play my song. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real gang, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines we find out. And getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize.
socialize, don't socialize. Talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your eye. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back. I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Expecto Swole Trono!
Papa Swole's fucking arrived.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you beashes. All right, fam, happy Fef. Welcome to the show today. It is Friday, so it's a reminder to focus on your community. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We are live on Apple Podcast, Spotify, not live, but you can subscribe and you can listen anywhere you bang your ear holes, the podcast app of your choice. We are live on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. So make sure you leave a 5-star review, subscribe where you can, share the show, and let's get into. You can also follow The Daily Swole podcast on Instagram. So make sure you check that out. We're posting clips there a lot. And we restarted that after our account got deleted a couple years ago. We kicked that up a little bit more recently, and we're posting over there again. So make sure you tag us if you find stuff online and drop a comment when you check out the clips and share with your friends. Thanks for being here. Let's get into the first post today. It is Friday, so we are kicking it off, and we're making sure we are entering the weekend strong. So make sure you drop in the comments what you are smashing today. A reminder that we still have 20% off all merch because it is Halloween season, so fuck your resolutions. Today I'm rocking Bull Milk. Bull Milk is the best internal supplement. Bull Cream is good for the outside, Bull Cream for the skin, and Bull Milk for the soul. But you could also check out the brand new Fuck Your Resolutions design that's available over there at papaswolio.com. Don't miss out on any of the new merch drops. This is a great design, and I am going to get a flag. I want this in a flag. I want this in a horizontal flag. It's absolutely fire. I can't wait to get this design in. It looks great. So go check that out over there on the merch site. Let's get into, I don't have the actual account on here, but we got some awesome merch. Speaking of
in the box?
In the wild, I don't have who this is, but check out those fucking guns. Wow. Looking good, dude. Rocking the Go to the Fucking Gym merch. Looking great. Looking piped. looking jacked and piped. Thank you for sharing. Good selfie, good gains. Keep it up. Thanks for rocking the merch. And now, fam, you know what time it is. It is time for Rate My Meal. So let's get into some Rate My Meals. How about it? Let's see if we can get off on the right foot today. Let's see if we can start the weekend strong. So let's just jump into it. Let's see what the Swole fam is eating. Abraham Saberhagen Wong. That is the most intense name I think I've ever heard. Abraham Saberhagen Wong. What a fucking name, dude. What a name. Your parents didn't give a fuck. Let's name him Abraham Wong. What is going on? What is going on? That is a name and a half. I'm down. I'm down. Some protein before my workout, says Abraham Saberhagen Wong. And I am going to go out on a limb and say, what in the actual fuck are you talking about, bro?
What the fuck is that?
Methinks you don't know what protein is. Just saying. I don't know if you understand what the different macros are, but I don't know where the protein is. Is that chicken, I suppose, or is that tofu? I see carrots, I see lima beans or something. This makes me want to punch myself in the dick. I appreciate the fact that there's a couple pieces of chicken in there, but you know that looks exactly how it tastes. Bland and I don't know. So I like the name. I understand your heart's in the right place. You think you're eating protein, but someone get this man a steak. Get this man a steak. Let's get you some actual protein. All right. Don't be putting carrots in your mouth and telling me you're eating protein for a workout. Just don't do that. I have hope for you, Abraham. I do. Amanda says, I'm naughty today. It was a rough day for my personal anxiety because I had imaging and a follow-up afterwards. Everything is fine, so I'll be able to keep doing what I've been doing, but it was just nerve-wracking leading up to it. So that's not a thing. I don't know what that means. Naughty today. So you're justifying anxiety. You're justifying bad behavior because you're anxious. So you had imaging. Maybe you're doing, is it a cancer screening? So look, just a couple things here. I'm glad everything's good. So first off, good. That's a good thing. But if that's the case, if that's what you're referring to, maybe if you are nervous about a health outcome and getting a test, maybe you shouldn't eat garbage. If that's what you're saying you were doing and you're saying I was anxious because I was getting some scans done, probably shouldn't be eating garbage. That shouldn't be the go-to. That's not excusable in that sense. Well, we're glad you're okay. But if that's actually the layout, if I read that comment correctly, hey, I'm nervous about a health screening test that I'm getting done. Let me eat shit. That doesn't make sense, right? So we're glad that you're okay, but let's not make excuses for eating garbage. If that's the case, you need to be taking that next step, next level up, all right? But of course, look, if you're at the hospital, this is what we've talked about before. Hospitals are the worst places to eat, which is ironic. Hospitals should have gardens. Hospitals should have herbs and vines, and they should have indoor plants, right? They should have snake plants and, the spider plants, all these indoor air scrubbers, right? I know they have industrial filters and things like that, but there should be a lot of green. It should look like you're going to a jungle garden when you're going to the hospital. Unfortunately, they look like sterile lab environments, and it's pretty gross. The last thing you want to do is eat in a hospital. So anyway, if you're going to go eat in a hospital, oftentimes a lot of hospitals have McDonald's or Subway or Sbarro in the lobby, which is grotesque. So if you're going to the hospital, make sure you're bringing your own food. All right, Brandon Somerville. Stupid mouth covering emojis, and you're eating garbage pizza. So you get a Matt Damon. Brandon Somerville, top fan. Also, top chode today. You're not just a top fan. You're a top chode. So stop eating poison. You know that's shit. Doesn't even look good. That's all crust, dude. Where's the pizza? If you're going to have a pizza, make sure there's pizza on it. This is just an excuse to eat a lot of ultra-processed bread. All right, Danny Harlan, don't tell me that's pizza. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, boy. All right, Danny Harlan. Nope, I don't make pretty food. So here is my recipe keeper of what I had. So no pictures, which is okay. You don't want to take a picture because it doesn't look good. Casserole. Casserole. casserole, lasagna, these are the most overrated things. These gross me out. It's just a lot of stuff. It's like a stomach bomb. Anyway, the ingredients look, I guess, more or less depending. Ground beef, onion, garlic, cream cheese, sugar-free ketchup, yellow mustard, salt, black pepper, cheddar cheese, radish, mayonnaise, yellow mustard, pickle juice, cheeseburger casserole. I don't know, man. I
didn't know they stacked shit that high.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not really, don't feel bad. Don't go cry yourself to sleep, Danny, but good Lord. You guys do a lot of, there's so much preparation. There's so many ingredients, so many things. It's so simple. Food is so much more simple, in my opinion. That just sounds like a stomachache to me. Thank you, Jamie, for pulling up the rear, showing us some chicken. Well, we got some barbecue. Is that some beef? Is that all chicken? Got some chicken wings. All right, you get a based here. Thank you, Jamie.
I gave it a fucking 10.
All right. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie's like, I got you guys. I got some actual food here. Kayla White. We have some green stuff. What is that? Plantains. I'm just guessing. Is that avocado or is that broccoli? That's spinach. Burns my tongue just looking at it. But we got some shrimp, some chicken, some steak. You just had a whole sampler platter there. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Speaking of saving the day, Nord have it's good. Look at that. 3 steaks. Looks like ribeyes. Got the nice char. We got some butter on top. That's based. I like it. I'm liking that steak. Saving the day. And we got one more here. This one's from Thomas Schwartz, top fan. Let's see if you got top meals. Thomas just got home from work and made me a meal. So good, had to make another one because the wife stole half of this one. Well, it's a picture of a steak, and it sounds like your wife knows what's good. Your wife loves meat, which is good. That's good. You want a wife who loves meat. That's what you want. Look, I'm not against when you guys are making your own food. A lot of other people, you're doing better than going to McDonald's in most cases, right? You're doing better. But when you do something like a casserole, this lasagna dish, it just sounds, I don't know. That stuff doesn't process to me anymore. It usually just tastes over seasoned. There's so much stuff in there that doesn't really need to be in there. There's so many more variables. I just want to fuel up. And it's not that you don't enjoy your food. It's not that I don't enjoy my food. I want to pull into a gas station and I want to get gas. I don't want fairy dust and fairies like flying around and all this other shit. I want the fuel. So when I'm eating, I want the fuel. I want it to taste good, but I want it to taste good because it's my body craving those nutrients. It's time for me to fuel up. It's time for me to charge up, man. So if I have some like sourdough bread and I have some eggs and I have some steak or, have some orange juice or some fruit in the morning, get me going right. I just want the food. Simple. I want some simple food. I don't need tons of ingredients to make the food taste good. It already tastes good. It's delicious food. And if you're getting high quality food, grass-fed and finished beef, and you put a little salt on it, man, you're cooking in butter or tallow. That's the flavor, man. It's so good. What do you need else? What do you need all these different seasonings on it? It's so much more work. So much more work. It really is. It really is. And there's nothing wrong, just to go back to Danny's post, and it's not about Danny himself. Cool, maybe he really likes this and likes to cook and likes to do all these things. Totally fine. But you could just do the ground beef. Boom, it's done. You don't need all this other stuff in it. It's not going to keep as well, in my opinion. It's just so much. It's so much extra that you don't need. And a lot of times, unfortunately, what people have are the issues with all the things that they add to these foods, right? It's simplifying. It's taking more of these extra things away. A lot of times people have issues with the side dishes. They have the steak and then they have, maybe some of these things, they have the spinach or the broccoli or the kale and stuff. And then they're dealing with other issues. And a lot of times it's down to the sides. It's what you're cooking it in. It's what you're putting around it. It's what you're draping over it. It's not the burger meat. It's the bun you're putting on top of it and all the other stuff. So again, if you have issues, if you have things you're trying to clear up, if you have plateaus you're hitting, if you have inflammation and different things, the more issues you have or the things that you're aware of, You have to go down to this nitty gritty. And I'm not trying to be overly critical. I'm not trying to tell people, hey, if you don't eat exactly what I eat, you're eating wrong. I'm just using these as examples because I encourage people to simplify their meals. I don't think you need all that. You just need a lot of stimulus because you're used to stimulus. The same way you're used to palate stimulus, you're used to brain stimulus with scrolling. The same reason why TikTok and Instagram and everything's so much more short form. It's like short form food. It's short term content. It's I need all these different flavors and boom, 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 hitting every single palate. I need all this. I need a little bit of this and 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 a little bit of this. No, you just need meat and fucking salt to eat that shit. Just fucking eat it. You know? Don't make a hamburger helper. Just eat the fucking hamburger. It's much simpler than people realize, in my opinion. Now, if Danny can do what he wants, it's not about him, but just because it's in front of my face, so we're going to talk about it. All right, let's get into the tip.
Just an inch.
Let's put it in.
It's cold outside.
All right, first post. Let's take it from the
What's in the box?
Swolenormous app. Let's do it. Ooh, super zoomed in. All right. Thomas says, came across this article today. Protein powders, shakes, contain high lead levels. Analysis found. Be mindful of what you're putting in your body. I put the link in Telegram if you'd like to read. These things come around now and again. A lot of it's fear mongering. You know, this has been known. We've talked about this. Anything that's processed has the risk of having metals. You've seen things on the back of packages where it says may contain milk or nuts, right? Cooked on or made in a factory on equipment that processes tree nuts and things like that. Because some people are very, very sensitive to certain things. And if it touches, if there's a little peanut dust that's left over from processing the day before, they're just saying that as a liability waiver because, hey, we also do things in the same fact. It doesn't mean they don't clean things, right? It doesn't mean they don't clean things. It doesn't mean they don't sterilize. It just means that, hey, maybe we missed something or maybe something's in the air. So they're letting you know that they process other ingredients. But also anytime you have any kind of heavy duty industrial processing, it's machinery. Same reason why you have something stored in plastic. Plastic can flake off and can break down. Same thing with metal. Things get ground up. You can have pieces of metal. You can have different things that get in. And plus, depends on where you're getting it from. You could have plastics from things like in seafood, and there's microplastics in most places just because of pollution and landfills and X, Y, and Z. So anyway, get something that's third-party tested. There are low-quality products out there, and they're higher quality. And don't forget, sometimes things that are manufactured overseas have less oversight. So it's always good if you get something that's third-party tested, be aware, and you can look a lot of these things up. If they're third-party tested, usually they have links or QR codes where you can test and check things out. A lot of people don't, but you can also, if you're curious, you could take your protein powder. You could also take it to a local place and pay to get it tested yourself. It's going to be expensive, but just be mindful. You shouldn't be living your life off protein powders, and you shouldn't be sucking down low quality. Quality matters. Quality matters. So yeah, it's out there. Be aware. It's good to be aware of these things. And I'm not sure what that article said or if it mentioned certain brands, but yeah, that's the thing. It's definitely a thing. That's what happens that's why you don't want things that are overly processed and overly filtered. In some cases, it can be more processing, or it is more processing. And in some of those cases, it can lead to more of these byproducts. Okay, Vasco in the app. Considering as far as I understand, the medial head of the triceps is activated in both traditional tricep extensions and overhead tricep extensions, is it beneficial to incorporate an exercise that emphasizes the medial head more, or do most people get away without targeting it directly? So this post is getting a little bit into the weeds, and I did comment on this in the app, just overthinking it. So you have the long head, you have the medial head, and you have the lateral head of the triceps. You're working all three in every single triceps movement. Now, if you have movement with the upper arm, if you're doing a JM press or you're doing a pullover extension, you're doing anything with movement, and not pullover extensions, but if you're doing a JM press, if you're doing certain movements where the upper arm is moving, in many cases you are, or in some cases, what you're doing is you're hitting less of the long head. For example, in a JM press, because the humerus moves, you're getting less of the long head activation. Doesn't mean it's not working, but you might be just targeting a little bit more the medial and the lateral head. If you want to hit the long head more, you want to get some sort of shoulder extension. So doing like a pull over extension. So doing the extension component and then the extension with the triceps, doing cable 2-arm or 1-arm or katana extensions out to the side with your arms down by the side has been shown to hit the long head in a quality manner. But you're getting all of them. You're getting all of them. So if you're trying to target the medial head more, you just need bigger triceps. It's the same thing when people say, I want wider biceps. Should I work the brachialis more? It's really hard to isolate the brachialis. Can you a little bit? Sure. If you do reverse curls and load it more from the lengthened position. So if you're doing like a preacher curl, reverse preacher curls, you'll get a little bit more of the brachialis. But in general, you just need bigger arms. So if you're progressively overloading, you're getting stronger with hammer curls, with reverse curls, with standing curls, with supinating curls, with cable curls, with preacher curls in every manner possible, right? If you just have bigger arms, you're going to have thicker biceps. So it's the same reason when people are saying, hey, I'm trying to bring up my upper chest or this different area. Sure, but what most people want, I want more shape here, I want more this here. You just need to get bigger everywhere. So if you want your shoulders to pop, you need bigger shoulders. And sure, you have to work the posterior deltoid if you want more posterior deltoid. Sure, but T-bar rows, upper back rows, doing some posterior deltoid, but you just need bigger muscles. So if you want wider biceps, get bigger biceps. You want bigger triceps or a bigger medial head, just get bigger triceps. Extend the elbow. So pick an exercise you like, progressively overload it. I recommend people doing some sort of a dip, some sort of a JM press. You'll get that in a lot of pressing movements. And then do some sort of a cable or band extension. And that's it. And progressively overload those too. It's not complicated. There are other varieties you can do just to mix it up and try different things. But understand that the more you mix stuff up, the less you're going to get that hypertrophy. You want to make sure you're consistent with your programming for at least several weeks before you throw in or ditch different exercise. You need to stay with things for extended periods of time to get the most out of them. If you're changing every 2 or 3 weeks, you're just getting a novel coordination stimulus and you're getting stronger, but you're not building as much muscle because you're changing the variables too much. You're adding too much variety and you're adding too much of a novelty stimulus rather than consistently applying in the same manner over and over again, week after week, month after month. So you don't need fancy stuff. So the basics work, they always will, but psychologically, and maybe you go to a gym. It's good to have different options for exercises too, because if you go to a gym and it's busy, there might be a machine that is sometimes available and sometimes not. Maybe it's a part of your program. Maybe using the Smith machine is part of your program, but your gym has one Smith machine, and every time you go in on Tuesdays when it happens to be a Smith machine day, someone's on it. You're like, shit, all right, someone's on it. I don't want to wait for half an hour. Let me do this other exercise instead. And then the next time I come in, if that's available, I'll throw that back in my routine. So I have the ability with the home gym, I could do whatever I want, whenever I want. So every option's on the table every time I train. If you go to a gym, sometimes something's taken. So it's good to have other options. Hey, the Smith machine's taken and the dip machine is taken. All right, so I'm going to do the dumbbells today. I'm going to do incline, single arm overhead tricep extensions or pullover extensions or whatever it is, because those things are taken. So it's good to have other options. And plus, sometimes maybe a joint's bothering you. Maybe you really hit something hard and wow, I got really sore from that. Let me pull back on this one and do this instead because it feels better on my joints. Sometimes you need to take a break with certain movements because you just been hitting a little bit too hard. You have to adjust the volume or the intensity and you got to back off a little bit. So it's good to have other options. And last thing I'm going to say about triceps is one of the most underrated exercises or one of the most underrated tools specifically for triceps is using bands. Bands are good. Bands are not good for a lot of different exercises just because of the progressive overload. A lot of muscles are better hit from the lengthened position, and the bands aren't going to target the lengthened position well. So you're doing a curl. It's not ideal for biceps unless you're trying to hit brachioradialis. If you're doing squats, if you're doing, it's hard to do quads with a band and shit like that. Shoulders with a band, okay, but you want the tension more at the bottom generally. So, but for triceps, you want the profile to be ascending. You want it to get harder as the joint extends more, and bands are perfect for that. So if you want to do triceps and you have bands, trust me, a single arm band extension, fucking lit. It's awesome. That's a great, great, great exercise. All right. All right, so let's get into a couple of responses here. I asked people, what are you focusing on most this week? Got some weird responses. It seems like people were not reading the question properly. But this one was cool. Brennan Butler says, I don't really know the plan, so as of now, it's just to get started again. And we got some before and afters, or kind of like a transition. Good for you. Good for you. Looking great. 136 pounds, October 15th. Ready to make those gains. I appreciate you sharing. Looking good and ready to get back into it. Now's the time of year. Fuck your resolutions. Start today, and you are. October 15th is right in the middle of FYR season, not waiting for January 1st. Tanya says, I'm staying on track with nutrition and my fitness in general. Joanne, focusing on nutrition. I have my food pre-cooked for when we go to watch my son race BMX. I plan to eat fruit when I get home, as I will feel like the sweetness. And brush my teeth directly after so I do not snack. Interesting. I am improving habits surrounding eating, specifically intentional eating. Well, is there another kind? Melissa says, mindfulness. I am working on staying as present as possible, not worrying about future events. And Nick Lager, investing to retire at 55. So this week you're focusing on investing. Okay. I mean, they could be focusing on that every day. All right. Interesting responses. And we got 2 comments here from different posts. Make sure that you do comment on videos inside the app. We love to read them. This one's from Aaron on Express Yin for upper back and shoulders. Aaron says, loved the integration of other body parts here. As always, great work, Alex. I agree. If you're a member and you haven't tried one of Alex's classes, please do so. We got another one here. This fucking scroll. There we go. Tanya on Swolga Strength. Ooh, 90-day dash Swolga. Amazing. Coming back to the beginning always hits a sweet spot, and I agree. Aww. It's always nice going back to an earlier program. It's always nice going back to an exercise you haven't done in a while. That's another thing you can do, is bring back something in, look through your charts, see what weight you were using, what strength you were, how many reps you were doing, and add that back into your program, and you could see your progress. Now understand, and this happens to me all the time, I'll go back to an exercise maybe I haven't done in a couple months, and I'll hit the same weight with the same reps that I did a couple months ago. In my experience, that still means you're making progress, because if the exercise is kind of new, meaning you haven't done it in a few months, just because you didn't see the strength go up from that, it's because you haven't done the exercise in a couple months. So if I go back, I haven't done an exercise in a few months, and I go back and I'm hitting the same reps and the same weight, that's good, because I'm kind of getting the coordination back again. And then in the next few workouts, you kind of see that strength going up, because now your body is kind of getting rid of that novel factor again. You're getting the coordination back. And I haven't done, for example, because I was working on stuff in the gym and it was covered and I was moving the equipment around. So I hadn't done seated leg curls in a while. I was doing prone, I was doing some other things. And I came back to the seated leg curl and I hit the same weight and the same reps that I had done a few months before, which is great because I felt good, but you still kind of had that, I haven't done this in a while. It seems a little bit rusty. And I hit the same strength and I hit that. So I know that number is going to go up in the next couple of weeks and I feel really good with it. So that's a great sign. So don't get bummed out by that, because you are having that coordination kind of kicking back up. It's the same thing, even if you had experience, even though you've done the exercise before. If it's been a couple months, then it's still kind of a new exercise temporarily, at least for the first few sessions. So good stuff. All right, let's get into some questions. Ask Papa Swole. Appreciate all the comments here. Welcome, welcome. Come one, come all. If you have live questions, drop in the comments. Hashtag Ask Papa Swole. Let's take this one from Danny Bow. Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy. Papa Swole, what do you recommend to a guy that is afraid of starting the cut because he doesn't want to lose strength? Well, stop being afraid. There's no need to be afraid. Like, why would you be afraid? Cutting doesn't mean you're losing strength. That just means you're doing it wrong. Okay. You're afraid of starting the cut because you don't want to lose strength. This means that you don't really understand the strength training and what's building muscle. It's progressive overload. So in other words, don't lose strength. You should not be losing strength. If you're losing strength, you're losing muscle. Okay. So what that means is you're cutting calories too much or carbs too much, or your training is too fatiguing. If you're slightly eating less carbohydrates or you're trying to cut down a little bit in extra body fat, one, I would say a lot of people try to cut before they have enough muscle to cut too. Okay. Having a low body fat isn't ideal all year round. And, when I say low body fat, that depends on the person. Everyone's opinion is different. And everyone, the body fat percentage that is ideal for you is going to be different from person to person, what you can maintain. And in my opinion, you want to maintain something that you don't have to think much about. And people get way too fat and they get way too skinny and they lose their muscle rather than just maintaining a healthy body fat percentage and gaining consistently over time, which is hard enough. You're going to hit plateaus and have setbacks, and you're going to put on a little extra fat and then lose a little extra fat. It's hard to keep that exact balance. Life is chaotic. It's hard to be super consistent with all that kind of stuff. So don't be afraid, but don't lose strength. If you don't want to lose strength, good. You don't want to lose strength. You don't want to lose muscle. That's what you're doing. You're losing muscle. So make sure that you are maintaining your protein, adjust your carbohydrates. If you're losing strength or your performance is going down, you're not eating enough carbohydrates. And then you can mix and match and figure stuff out. It doesn't have to be fast. It could be a couple hundred calories a day. The problem is most people are not consistent enough every day to know and understand, 200 calories a day, let me cut that. They're not as militant in that sense where they can just do that. So it's important to track your progress. If your strength is going down, then you need to increase the carbs and slow your roll. Okay. So build more muscle, get more jacked. Don't be afraid of the cut. Don't lose strength. You don't want to. So you can cut and trim down extra body fat and maintain strength to a point. You just got to do it very slowly and intentfully, and understand if you're getting in less energy and you're trying to lose a little extra body fat, you're going to have to manage your fatigue and your intensity and your volume and stuff more. You have to be very attentive to that. Okay. This is why professional bodybuilders, even if they're taking all sorts of stuff, when they're cutting down, they don't do the same type of like heavy, all out intense lifting because it's harder for them to recover when they're cutting back calories or fat and things like that. Darth Large, top 3 back exercises. I usually don't like answering, my favorite or top, but top 3 is not bad. I don't like people, if you can only do one exercise for the rest of your life, or what's the best? So I do appreciate the framing of this question. So 3 back exercises that I'm always doing, I would say, or that's good, or 3 areas that you want to hit. You want to do something overall with your spinal erectors. And usually I'll hit that on a leg day. I'll do stiff leg deadlifts. I'll do some sort of, or Jefferson curls. So the spinal erector or 45-degree hypers, these things crush the spinal erectors too. So it's a great thing to do on a leg day. But for back, hit the lats, hit the traps. So Kelso shrugs, T-bar rows, wide pull downs, pull over machine, a lat biased row, whether it's cable, whether it's a single arm pull down with your elbow tucked in. So do a lat, do an upper back, make sure you're getting those traps. So an upper back row, a lat biased row or pull down, and something for the spinal erectors, and you're golden. Don't forget lateral bending and rotation, things like that. Serena living good. Papa Swolio. How do I get a bigger back end? It is flat. Ooh, Serena. So flat the walls are jealous. Oh no. Oh no.
We choose truth over facts.
How do I get a bigger back end? Well, you might want to start training those glutes. Hip thrusts, banded 45-degree hypers, dumbbell 45-degree hypers, stiff leg deadlifts, RDLs, Bulgarian split squats. There you go. Abductor machine, curtsy lunges, deficit curtsy lunges, all sorts of stuff. Prioritize. If your priority is your glutes, you better be training glutes first on your leg day. Whenever you're training glutes, you should be training it first. Understand you can only prioritize so many things. So whatever you're training first in your workouts, that's your priority body part for that day. Understand? Whatever you're training first and earlier in the workout. That's it. Whatever you're training earlier in the workout is going to get the best stimulus. So if your biceps are lagging, do biceps before leg day, or do biceps first on upper body day, or do biceps before you do chest on push day, whatever it is. Make sure you prioritize the body parts you're trying to bring up. You want to bring up your calves, train them first in the workout, no matter what you're doing. Things like that. Kedria Krame. Papa Swole, how do you smell, sir? Like I have a huge cock. I smell like a man. I smell like steak. I smell like bull milk. Just rating with, how do I smell, sir? Good Lord. Never been asked that. It's interesting. 3,452 episodes. Never been asked how I smell. Through my nose. That's a good one. I saw someone post, I think it was Dr. Baker, the carnivore guy. And I think he posted, I saw it pop up in my X feed, and he goes, how do you guys eat? How do you all take your ground beef? And I was like, orally in my mouth. All right. We got a couple more good questions. Let's see. Dalton Hazlitt, 67. And if you have live questions, drop in the comments. How do you get swole in the gym? Because that's what I'm looking for. How do you look like you? Oh, why thank you for wanting to look like me. You train hard, you prioritize your fitness, and you practice making gains for 25 years. How do you get swole in the gym? Listen to the podcast and join us over at swolenormousx.com. Yeah. All right. Jay Valdivia, 1009. Papa Swole, best lat workout without it being lat pull downs. Okay, well, lat pull downs are fantastic. And I will say, most people do lat pull downs poorly. They're arching their back too much and they're too far under the machine. So back up a little bit, round your lower back, pull more to the front of the body. So most people do lat pull downs incorrectly. You hit your lats with anything. Dumbbell row, pull over machine, keeping your elbows more tucked, right? Lats work from about here to here. So any kind of row with the elbows tucked, wide will get the frontal plane for the lats. There you go. So best is whichever lat exercise you like, and then get stronger with it and you'll get bigger lats. All right. We got 2 more questions and then we'll take any live ones that pop in. Holy smokes, Batman. Papa Swolio, would you give me, or could you give me a simple workout routine looking to feel better mentally and physically? Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to give you just some arbitrary thing. It's like lift weights, push, pull, squat, basics. I would recommend you join us. The reason why I created Swolenormous X and the reason why we have the amazing Swolenormous app is because I wanted to put everything in one place and make it simple for you to execute. So we got cool membership specials going on for Fuck Your Resolution season. You could download the app, get access to everything, all of our programs, master classes. We walk you through everything and we guide you, we coach you, we welcome you in the Telegram chat, in the community section. We have roundtables, we got private, coaching sessions that we got coming up for, coaching calls and stuff that we're going to be going over specific topics. We got a lot of things that go on inside the Swole fam, and we're here for you. Everything's customizable and we're always adding new content and educating members that way. You have the people around you that are focusing on the 7 pillars, and you have the tools at your disposal because there's a lot of bullshit out there. And this is the stuff that actually works without the frills, without the, hey, if you don't do this, you're going to get cancer and waste away and you're doing it wrong, right? This is what you hear from a lot of things. If you're doing this, you're doing it wrong. Now, there's a lot of ways to screw in a light bulb in this sense, but there's only an optimal way, or there's a right way or a better way for you. Everyone's different. So you have to figure out and understand how to figure out what works best for you. It doesn't have to be what someone else does. It could be similar, but it doesn't have to be what someone else does. And what people have to understand is learning the skills and learning how to customize, learning what to look for, learning how to learn. This is what we teach. This is what we do. Members of the Swole fam have learned how to spot bullshit. They have learned how to customize. They have learned, hey, if this isn't working, this is what I do to figure it out. So you're learning. We teach people how to fish, not just here's some fish, do this. Here's an Excel spreadsheet. Here's your workout. That's not what anything. That's why there's so much Here's why. Have you noticed that? In every program that we have, in everything that we do, it's always, this is why you're doing this. This is the reason for this. You do this because here's what you should be focusing on. Here's how you can, it's always how. How can you learn how to be the driver of your own ship? And it's important to understand that. It's a good question. Okay. One more, and then we'll move on. Any live questions, drop in the comments. Not seeing any today. Everyone knows everything. That's good. You're so smart. You're so smart. You know everything. You don't have any questions for your boy. I get it. Not holding it against you. Drop the hashtag, by the way. Hashtag Swole AF. Swole AF for a chance to win today's Swole card. Drop that. We're going to give that away soon. You don't want to miss that. Who doesn't want a Swole as fuck Swole card? All right, Darren Hinckley. Any tips on stamina training? Got a tough mutter coming up and open to any wisdom. Thanks. By practicing stamina, by doing things that are harder. How you practice for events is essentially you're training harder than the event itself. You know, you're preparing yourself for the event. You're preparing yourself by doing stamina training. What I would recommend and understand is that if you're doing endurance, you're doing running and shit like that, it does not go well with heavy strength training. All right. There's a reason why marathon runners are not jacked. If you're lifting heavy weights and doing that kind of stress on your tendons, on your ligaments, and then you're doing long distance running and impact, I'm telling you, that's why people get hurt doing this shit. Okay. I've done those races before. I used to do trail running. I used to win 10K trail run. I used to win 10K trail running events in my Vibrams, and I was lifting heavy weights, and I wasn't the same weight that I am now. But that led to like tendonitis and issues because I was doing heavy deadlifts. I was doing workouts where I was doing heavy deadlifts. I was doing I don't know if it was a leg day, but I was doing heavy deadlifts, 400 or 500 pounds, whatever. Then riding my motorcycle to the beach and then running like 5 or 10 miles on the beach. It was insane. No wonder my knee, the side of my knee, it started hurting. Like, no shit, dude. So you think you could do more, you keep on doing more and adding more and doing more and doing more and doing more until you can't. And then you start having injuries and it hurts and then it wears away. And then you're like, why am I being such a pussy? How come it hurts? Let me work through it. You just keep on beating yourself up. It's because you're not recovering and you're pulling your body into 2 different or 3 or 4 different directions. I used to be doing heavy lifting and doing swimming and all this kind of stuff. And it just beats the body up because you're going so many different directions. You're just exhausting yourself. So what I would say is, treat it the same way you do any kind of intensity training. If you're doing towards failure, whether it's stamina, whether it's sprinting, whether it's long distance running, that's like a heavy, intense lifting workout. You're fatigued. You can't do it all. So you have to pick your priorities. You have to pick your priorities and understand there's a reason why people that do endurance training don't have a ton of muscle mass, because it's very, very hard to maintain that and for your joints and for everything and to program that properly. And this doesn't mean not have cardio capacity. Going to the sauna gets you cardio mimicking benefits. You could do sprints. You could do jump rope. You can do plyometrics. But you have to program that properly. So for me, my weight training is the most important thing. So I'm making sure that any kind of cardiovascular or other types of activities is going to benefit that. If I'm doing the sauna twice a day and I'm trying to train and it's the heat, and I'm going to be wiped out. So I have to back off on certain things and focus on my priorities. Okay. Pam, joining the fam is literally one of the best things I've done for myself in so many ways. Oh, the Swole fam. Look at that. Everyone, there's so much love. So much love in the Swole fam right now. I could feel it. I could feel it through the screen. Has everyone gotten their flu shot this year? Has everyone gotten their flu shot? Everyone? You
fucking people.
Got to make sure that everyone's gotten their flu shot.
Quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Want to make sure you're feeling good. Want to make sure that you're healthy. Got to make sure that you're not going to drop dead. Got to get that flu shot. Very important. You can't be healthy in the winter unless you get a flu shot. I have never gotten a flu shot in my life. I can't imagine getting a flu shot. I cannot imagine. I've gotten the flu. I got it in college. And the reason why I got it It's because I was getting no sleep. My magnesium, vitamin D, I was wiped out. I was training. I was in college. I was getting no sleep. It was winter. No vitamin D, no supplementation like that. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And I got hit with the nastiest. I've never been that sick in my entire life. I told this story a few times. So if you've heard it before, well, here it is again. So yeah, I remember the school nurse, and the school was like 2,000, 2,500 people. She was like, she's told me I was the sickest person that has come in. So she was like calling my room and like checking in on me. Like, are you okay? I had to go to the emergency room. I had like a fever of 105 or 105.5 or something crazy. I remember sitting in the nurse's office before I went to the ER, and I was like bundled up. I was shivering and sweating, and I was super cold. And they're like, oh, you can have these little, thermometers. It was like the paper thermometers, right? Just you put in your mouth, and it just like the little dots would, turn gray or whatever. It was like an approximation thing. I don't know if they still have those today, but it was like a piece of paper, like thermometer thing. I remember I put it in my mouth, and they were all gray, and I'm like, oh, this fucking thing doesn't work. I'm like, oh, it was broken, because it only went up to like 104 or 105, and it just like all went it was all gray. I'm like, this thing doesn't work, whatever. I was waiting for her, and she took my temperature. She goes, is there anyone that can drive you to the hospital by chance? And I was like, what? And she's like, you need to go to the emergency room. Is there someone that can drive you? So I was like, oh, okay. But that was bad. So I had like a bacterial infection, and I had the flu. So it was really bad. But that's probably why I've never had anything like that again too, because my body gets full spectrum immunity. I dealt with it before, and I took care of my health, and I haven't had issues like that. But usually people are just vitamin D deficient. It's not the cold and flu season. It's people have vitamin D deficiency season. Most people have terrible nutritional habits, lifestyle habits, and they don't have enough vitamin D, magnesium, sleep, et cetera, and they get sick all the time. Everyone knows people that have sickness. How many people at work are just sniffling all the time? They're always sniffling. They're always sick because they eat like shit. They don't have proper nutrients. They're not getting in what they need to be getting in to prevent illness. Go out in the sun. But again, if it's winter, it's hard to get sun. It's hard to get sun. People are eating garbage, This is why I live in Florida, because I always want to be shirtless. I want to be getting sun all year round. It's 82 degrees down here. It's 82 degrees, and it's October 17th. I love it. Give it to me all week. I'm looking at the weather. It's like 82, 86, 85, 84. It's sun, sun, sun. Fucking roast my tits. Roast my nips, America, baby. Roast it. Roast them, baby. I say roast the nips, and everyone's like, where do you live? It's freezing here. Well, move. Don't move to Florida, though, unless you're going to not vote retarded. If you vote retarded, don't move here. Go to California. Go to California if you want to vote retarded. Everyone I know that lived in California has now moved to like Texas or Florida or gotten the fuck out. So if you're retarded, go there. Don't come here. Or if you come here, vote better. That's the problem. We don't want more people here. Florida's full. We're done. We're good. We don't need anyone. No more chodes. No more chodes. We're anti-chode here in Florida. Are you ready for Balls Deep? Any other questions? No? Nay? Let's do it.
That's deep.
All right. So you guys live all over the country, right? Let's take this video here. We got a video. We're going to kick it off with Jimmy Kimmel. You guys remember how he got fired, and he was supposed to apologize or whatever because he's a liar, he's a grifter, and this dude is a total fucking vegan. He is brain dead. I am surprised he's still on TV because he has just come back and lied over and over. He's lying all the time. The Democrats and the liberal media, they're off their rockers. Everything I see is just insane shit. The majority of the country voted for Trump overwhelmingly. Get the criminals out of our country. Get them the fuck out. What is the problem? Let's get rid of the crime because you guys don't want to enforce the laws. And guess what? The children are throwing a fucking tantrum. Jimmy Kimmel is the epitome of an absolute brain dead libtard cuck. It's embarrassing to watch him exist, but we have to. So check this out. You guys tell me if this sounds like propaganda or Jimmy Kimmel hit the nail on the head again. You tell me.
Antifa is just short for anti-fascist. It's not a club you can join. There are no membership dues, but they have matching signs. Okay, well, I guess we better round up these domestic terrorists, too. They look pretty matching to me. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Spread it around. There's no chaos in Portland. None. There is no chaos in Chicago. There was no chaos in Los Angeles.
There's no chaos in Portland? I can do a simple search and bring you all the fucking chaos. That's literally the vast majority of the chaos in this country is Portland, Chicago, and Los Angeles. You forgot about New York. But let's play the rest of this.
They're pretending there's chaos as a pretense for a military takeover.
Oh, remember we've talked about this, right? This whole no kings bullshit that's happening tomorrow, the next day. You know the reason for this? Why Newsom is saying we have to declare independence from the fascist. They're literally starting this kind of like Civil War rhetoric. Like that's what they've been doing this entire time. The left and the liberals, the Democrats, the whole corrupt aspect of our society. They're off the reservation. They're off. You can't have any conversations with people like this. They don't have the facts. They don't want to hear anything. Antifa. Anti-fascist. Yeah, that's what it means, Jimmy. Do you know anything about leftist rhetoric? Oh, no, you don't. They're always blaming the opposition for what they do. Yeah, Antifa is anti-fascist. It's literally the militant wing of the Democratic Party, which is which is a fascist regime because they tried to, remember, do you guys remember 2021, 2022, right? You guys remember all the lockdowns, all the leftist government bodies that kept you in your homes, forced you to take experimental gene therapy. The gaslighting is insane. It's insane. They're anti-fascist. No, they're not, bro. No, they're not. No, they're not. The same reason why the Democrats are for the minorities. The Democrats are for the working people. It's all a grift. It's always been a grift. It's always been a grift. So again, tomorrow or the next day or whatever it is with all these protests, you guys understand that the point of these things is to try to instigate a response from National Guard or from, I don't know, DHS or from the ATF or from the FBI or from ICE. So the goal is to create a situation that is so untenable, someone's going to throw a brick, some Antifa or Black Bloc is going to do something, and then all they're going to do, they're going to instigate. This is what they do. They instigate, and then, all right, fine. Then you're going to get pepper sprayed and thrown in the back of a paddy wagon, so to speak. And then they're going to start recording and be like, look, they're arresting people after they're spitting on cops and pushing and, getting violent. And then eventually the cops are like, all right, you crossed the line. This is the line. It was crossed. Boom. You're going to jail. Look what he did. Look what he did. That's all. This is an attempt to do what he's saying. They're trying to create a situation on purpose where there's going to be a response. We've seen this before. This is literally how communists work. This is literally what, remember, leftists, the goal is the revolution. It's always a revolution. It's always about the revolution. It's never good enough. It's never going to get fixed, because if it gets fixed, there's nothing to kick and scream and gaslight and victimize yourself and marginalize yourself over. There always has to be an oppressor. So no matter what, there's always a problem. It's never good enough. You give reparations, it's going to be more. It's going to be, now we want this, now we want that, whatever it is. It's always more. So if you have a 2-year-old or 3-year-old, kicking and screaming, throwing a tantrum, you don't give in to that, because then what you're doing, it's like having a dog. You're promoting bad behavior. Okay. Let's continue. Let's go back a second. Oops. That wasn't in the browser window.
In Chicago, there was no chaos in Los Angeles. They're pretending there's chaos as a pretense for a military takeover.
Yeah.
But I'm open-minded. If there is chaos in these cities Trump calls hellholes, let's see it and decide if something needs to be done about it.
Oh, yeah. There's no chaos in Chicago. Mark, how we doing? Mark's in Chicago or near Chicago. Has anyone been to Chicago lately? Has anyone been to Portland lately? I mean, if you have triple-digit IQ, you've probably left these places and avoid them like the plague. How are they doing? And no chaos. I didn't know that. There's no chaos in Chicago? Whoa. Whoa. I think there were like 5 or 10 murders yesterday. No chaos, huh? Anyone go on a nice leisurely walk in Chicago at night lately? See the sights, you know, enjoy the city, enjoy the beautiful, the lakes. You guys go downtown? Yeah? Beautiful. Beautiful down there. Mark, is that what you do on the weekends or at night? Do you go down there? A nice breeze, beautiful evening in Chicago? I know Mark. Mark says it's fine. He says in the chat, Mark says it's fine. Always enjoys a nice leisurely stroll on the south side. Yeah, there you go. I'm just kidding. Mark just said, and I won't go down to the south side of Chicago. Mark says the mayor walks around saying it's safe with his 150-person security escort. Yeah. Yeah, because you're not retarded, okay? We've been watching Portland burn for like a decade. So many people moved out of Portland. Everything's boarded up. Stores, businesses aren't coming back because they just get burned to the ground. Everyone's got rainbow flags in the windows. Please don't hurt us. Oh, please, look, I support Black Lives Matter in Ukraine and everything and reparations. Please don't burn down my business. Please. Please don't burn down. Oh. All right. Anyway. Making fun of mentally ill people again, but, it's easy. So low-hanging fruit. Jimmy Kimmel is low-hanging fruit. I feel bad making fun of retards, but I don't. I really don't. Oh, God. I saw this. Fuck this. All right. I saw this video. Anyway, drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Ellie says, I don't even like having a layover in Chicago. Yeah, kidding. All right. We got a couple of videos. These are going to hurt. It's Friday, so oof. We're going to do this one first. It's called Most Qualified Candidate. This is 23 seconds. Let's start off with this video.
What's in the box?
Here.
That is a decent resume, but go ahead. But
Oh, God. Oh, it's Kamala Harris. Oh, fucking Christ.
Well, some people have actually... That is a decent resume, but go ahead. Well, some people have actually said I was the most qualified candidate ever to run for president.
She's not the most qualified person to run a Chick-fil-A. Jesus Christ. Who's clapping?
I like the some people say. Very nice, but go ahead.
Yeah, some people say, like, they're all in that room. There's like 7. Look, even in the room, they're like, yay! A couple cats meowed. Meow.
Very nice, but go ahead.
Wait. Yeah, it's like 20 people.
I like the some people say. Very nice, but go ahead.
That's her way of saying dumb cunt.
I'm just speaking fact. Yeah.
Oh, that was it? Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, that was cool. All right. We're going to do the Kathy Griffin one last. This one's called Size and Health. So we're going to bring it back to, I saw the Kathy Griffin or part of it.
What's in the box?
It's frightening. It's frightening. I mean, who cares what these fucking idiots say? No one does. No one does. They're just holding on to like a scrap of like relevance.
Trigger a shit ton of people, and I triggered a ton of people on my Facebook by saying this.
It's triggering because I guess you're about to lie and say that you're not fucking morbidly obese.
This is what a healthy body looks like.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
You went full retard, man.
Are there any women here today?
Okay.
Shut up, bitch.
Be nice. Be nice. All right, let's see what we got here. That's what a healthy body looks like. For fuck's sake. That's what a body looks like when they ate another body. You look like the guy from Men in Black. Sugar water. You look like you're wearing an Edgar suit. Okay, I'll play it.
I'm about to trigger a shit ton of people, and I triggered a ton of people on my Facebook by saying this. This is what a healthy body looks like. This, with the wiggly jigglies, is a healthy body. This body I can hike 6 miles in and literally barely catch wind. Now, sometimes on the steep parts, I be breathing heavy, but it's fucking fine, and I do it for fun. This is also the body that when I'm having a bad day, I lay in bed and hate some shit, but that's okay. This is also the same body that I eat ice cream with and then turn around and eat an arugula salad with. And I made a post about how this is what a healthy body looks like, because so many women feel like until they're very thin they can't be healthy, and like that is such a lie, and it's such a lie society pushes on us, because we can be healthy in our current bodies. We can have these habits and stuff like that in our current bodies that are healthy. One of the girls that said on my, they were,
the guy's over here is like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shh. Sandwich, sandwich, shh, sandwich. I'm hungry. What are you doing in here?
commenting on my body and was like, you're not healthy, you're delusional, like, shut the fuck up, pretty much. Went back to a video of me eating ice cream. Scrolled my entire feed, commented on a video of me eating ice cream, and she's like,
didn't have to scroll too far, I'm assuming.
oh yeah, you're so healthy.
And first of all, can we discuss the fact that that behavior is unhealthy,
So unhealthy
mentally?
in this.
Secondly, sorry not to cut you off, skinny ain't...
Mansplaining! 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 Mansplaining!
I don't like
Mansplaining.
chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
How dare you cut off a strong black woman? No, she's not black, but get it, girl. Yes, queen. You don't got to put up with that, girl. Mansplaining. Mansplaining.
Can we discuss the fact that that behavior is unhealthy,
So unhealthy
mentally?
in this.
Secondly, sorry not to cut you off, skinny ain't healthy. Healthy is healthy. You can be...
Skinny is not healthy. Healthy is healthy. Healthy is healthy. In other news, water is wet. Healthy is healthy. Healthy is healthy. Okay.
My name's Forrest Gump.
He's working. He's working to get that puss. Got the male feminist right here. Right here. Excellent.
thick and healthy.
You can be
skinny and
healthy.
unhealthy.
But you can be both. You can be either or. Like,
But-
it doesn't, just because of the size of your body doesn't determine your health. And
What is the best move to silence a woman?
Your body size doesn't determine your health. Well, you're not going to be morbidly obese and healthy. They're very closely related, let's be honest. Okay. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse right now. Okay, we're going to wrap up, but we're going to get into this one. It's called Kathy Griffin Crash Out. It's hard to look at. Where is my... I need my... This is like my favorite. This is my favorite reference for anyone that looks like this. The Easter Island Moai. All right. This is what she looks like. Okay. Let's play this one. It's called Kathy Griffin Crash Out. This is bad.
This protest the No King's Day because Trump thinks he's a fucking king. And, you know, he's not. He's barely a president. In fact, guess what? I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble.
Look at her face. Fuck me, man. What is going on with your face?
I don't think he won in a free and fair election. You heard me. I'm coming out and saying it myself. I don't care if that means I look crazy because Elon Musk, who's this other Nazi, got...
Do you guys think they actually think this? Elon Musk is another Nazi? They just say these things so casually. God, it's like... This is the problem when everything in society, the only thing people were ever taught is, this is the only history that anyone knows. The only thing that anyone knows is Hitler, Nazi, Hitler, Nazi, Nazi, Hitler, Hitler, Nazi. It's like a fucking Tourette's. All right, just another Nazi. There are very few Nazis today. They're just so desperate to have any kind of relevance. And it's the only thing that people know. It's the only thing people know. No one knows anything about Mao, Stalin, Mussolini. Like, people don't know anything about fucking history. They just know one name, one thing. It just lost. You just lose every argument when you just say, he's another Nazi. What are you talking about? It doesn't even make any sense. It used to be a bad thing when someone called you a racist because people weren't. It's like, well, you're making people more hateful because people hate stupidity and lies. You're just an overbearing. The Democrat Party is like the overbearing mother. That's why it's always weak men and weak women that are Democrats. Weak people. That's all it's made up of. So I feel like a good explanation of what the Democratic Party is just the nagging mom. And no one likes that, male or female. No one likes a nagging mother figure. Whether it's your mother-in-law, whether it's your mother itself, whether it's your aunt, whether it's like everyone knows that trope. I mean, it's real. The Democratic Party is just like a nagging mom. Just nag, 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 nag. It's never good enough. It's always wrong. It's always passive aggressive. It's always blaming you for what they're doing. They don't work on their problems. They just project. Nah, 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 nah. That's all it is. It's a nagging mother.
Running around town who owns X means I look crazy because Elon Musk, who's this other Nazi guy running around town who owns X, and a lot of people think he's a genius, but he's not. He's like a fake genius. Anyway.
Oh, he's not a real genius. Oh, so he doesn't own, like, he's not like the wealthiest man or one of them in the entire world. He's putting up satellites to give everyone internet access around the entire fucking globe. He came up with 45, whatever fucking $1 billion to purchase X, created Tesla, or bought Tesla and made it into like one of the top manufacturers, and Solar City and the Boring Company and like SpaceX. He's going to fucking Mars. It's just, give me a break. Yeah, he's not really a genius. Oh, he's an operator. He's a hell of a fucking genius. Give me a fucking break. He's done more yesterday than you've done in your entire life. And it's impressive. It's extremely impressive. And he attracts brilliant people to work for him because they're inspired by his vision. So to say that Elon Musk is not a genius is just, you don't have to like him, but my God, that's just a fucking lie. It's just a lie. Shameful.
He's a professional Nazi, in my humble opinion. And
he's what?
In my humble opinion. And he's a professional Nazi.
Can someone define for me what the difference is between a Nazi hobbyist and a professional? He's gone pro. I didn't know Elon. I thought he was amateur. I thought he was an amateur Nazi. I didn't realize he went pro. I thought he was semi-pro, but I didn't realize he went full. I didn't know he was drafted to the big leagues. He's a professional Nazi. Not an amateur. He's a real Nazi. He's a real Nazi. He's a pro.
My humble opinion. And he's good friends with Trump. And at one point, I don't know if you remember, but he was giving out $1 million checks to people if they would vote for Trump. That's illegal. It's unconstitutional and illegal.
It's not. It's not.
So that was happening. And the fact that Trump won all 7 swing states, which has never happened in the history of the U.S., makes it all very suspicious to me. So there, I said it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh my God. When's the last time Kathy Griffin was relevant? Oh, when she pretended to decapitate Donald Trump, right? And hold up his bloody head. Like, these people are fucking lunatics. They're lunatics. Now, I'm going to clarify this by saying I voted for Trump in 2020 and 2024. Just because I voted for him doesn't mean I fucking ride his dick with every last thing that he does. I don't know everything that he does or says. I have a life. I have a job. You know, I work. I do things with my day. I don't obsess about all the details. I look at the macro, like what's the most important things that are getting done? What do we vote for? Shut the borders down, you know, fix the economy, bring back manufacturing, end wars, right? Make America great again, which makes a lot of sense, which means get fucking people that are not Americans, that are suckling the teat, that are a weight and a blight on our society, get the crime and the criminals out of the fucking country. Get them off the streets so they're not raping and murdering our children. How about that? How about that? Doesn't seem like a complicated thing to want. But when you import the third world, you become the third world. There's no way you're not going to assimilate people from other countries that don't give a fuck about your country. They just want handouts. Yeah, you're not going to make your country great. You're just going to throw it into the fucking trash. We're letting trash into the country. And I say that not to dehumanize people, but when you let in garbage, when you allow criminals to stay, that's garbage. You're allowing garbage people into the country. Someone who would illegally enter a country is garbage. Oh, but he has a wife and he has kids. Yeah, criminals have kids. Criminals have kids. Did you guys know that? That criminals have fucking kids. I know that's shocking. Criminals have children. That's why so many kids don't have fathers, because they're in fucking prison. Okay? It's not rocket science. It's just common sense. Like, anyone that has a child is a good person. Are you retarded? Yes, you are retarded. Oh, he's a family man. Oh, yeah. Is he? You can have a family and be a fucking criminal and be a piece of shit. Just because you ejaculate into a person doesn't mean you're a good person. It doesn't take effort. All you got to do is nut, and then nature does the rest. So yeah, you could be a criminal and rape women and have lots of kids. Oh, you have children. Oh, but what about the kids? Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Does anyone here leave trash in their house? Let's say your kitchen trash can is filled to the brim. What do? Do you take the trash out of the can and then throw it in the corner of your house? Some people do. You've seen the movies, or you've seen the show Hoarders, where these psychos, shit in cans and just, save their poop and stuff like that. Because it's just gross. But that's what it turns out to be if you don't take out the fucking trash. I garden. I plant trees. I plant, but there's weeds. There's weeds. Grass goes through them. I have a lot of trees and a lot of things that I'm growing. If one of these trees or bushes grows over another one, it's not going to have vertical air. It's not going to have light. It's not going to grow. So I got to trim it back. You got to trim. You got to take out the trash. You got to weed. You got to fertilize. You got to assist the growth of these things. You got to take out the fucking trash. You got to take out the trash. And this is not to dehumanize anyone, but I will be honest. I don't care about people that broke the law. I don't care about people that have broken the law for decades. Oh, well, this person's been here for 20 years. Well, they've been a criminal every day for 20 fucking years. They illegally entered and they're suckling off this country. And they had 20 years to make amends and follow the proper channels. And they didn't. So that means every day they were actively committing a crime over and over again. It's not just one. It's not just one day. Well, they crossed the border. They crossed the border. They were a criminal that day. It's not a criminal. Don Lemon, you're not a criminal. You just walked over here. Or Joe Rogan. You know, all these guys that are just living in ivory towers that are just, it's not nice. It's so mean. You have to do this in the right way, but it's so mean. Fuck mean. Fuck mean. We're too accepting. That's the whole problem with this country. We accepted all the shit and all the trash. We've taken all the abuse. The white people are evil. Our country is awful. Oh my God, there were people here before us. Same thing with every fucking place. No one cares about empires in Europe and stuff that are no longer existing. Shit happens. The strongest survive. We won. We came over. Oh, but you didn't discover it. You know, people were already here. Well, they had fucking spears and they weren't good enough to hold their land. And people before us did things. It's just history. It happened and we're here now. Okay. So these are our values. Deal with it. We're here now. So what? So what? You're illegal. That's not nice to say. What are you talking about? It's a descriptor. You broke the law. You should not be here. But I've been here for 10 years. Yeah, we just caught you now. You've been good at evading the law. You broke the law every single day that you were here. Every single day. Okay? Every single day. If you are someplace that you're not supposed to be, you are trespassing every single day. Are you no longer in this country? Oh, I've been here for 10 years. Cool. 10 times 365. You broke the law every single day. Every single day. You're not supposed to be here for an hour, let alone 10 years. So you fucked up. You're going to have regrets. Oh, I should have gone through the proper channels. Well, what about my children and stuff? They can go back with you, or you can leave them here. You have a choice. We'll put you on a plane. We'll pay for your ticket. We'll drop you off where you're supposed to be. Your kids can come with you or whatever. That's it. You're separating families. No. We're righting wrongs, and this person's at fault. It's not Trump. It's not Tom Homan. It's not ICE. It's the fucking father. Take some responsibility. Can you guys imagine going to a foreign country? That's like me going to Italy and just sneaking in and staying there and just living and then, getting free medical, getting free food and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not supposed to be there and I'm sneaking around, right? Yeah, I'm breaking the law. I'm not supposed to be there. I'm not going to other countries committing crimes and then blaming them for catching me. You know, it's fucking crazy. So when you import the third world, you're essentially importing 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds throwing tantrums. You see this in the UK, you see this in Europe all the time. Just like literal, just off the boat immigrants just committing crimes and assaulting people. It's disgusting. What the fuck? I mean, Europe has totally fallen. I don't know what's going on with the UK and France and all this. You fucked up. You let everyone you let the garbage in. You let the garbage in. And when I say garbage, well, you're letting in criminals and low quality individuals. Sure, there are people that are intelligent. There are things that you can benefit from, and that's what we should do. I think we should shut down immigration completely. But if you are qualified and you want to be an American, you love the Bill of Rights, you love the Constitution. Man, I always wanted to move to America, the opportunity. I want to be an American. I want to look at that flag. I want to be proud of my country. And you want to learn, you want to be an American, then you can go through the proper channels, provide for the country, and prove your worth, X, Y, and Z, and then maybe we can help you out. And we're happy to have you if you prove your worth. Why is that crazy? That's how you have a great country. That's how you let in quality people. You have to assimilate, otherwise you don't have a country. We've allowed people in that don't care. They don't like our country. They come in and then they protest and then we kick them out on visas and they're like, oh my God, you can't speak. It's freedom of speech. You're here as a guest. You came in and you shit on my fucking carpet. Get out. Get the fuck out. You're here as a guest. Yeah, down with the United States. Down with the United States. Yeah. Get the fuck out. What are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? It's just the most logical common sense. And of course, you're a mean person. You're a racist. You're a xenophobe. Say whatever you want. Bye. I don't care. You can't hurt my feelings. But you're hurting my future. And you're hurting my children's future and my grandchildren's future. And you're hurting everyone in this country. You're hurting my community. Literally and figuratively. So it's disgusting. And it is very unnerving, the concept that people are that far gone that they might vote for Democrats again. I cannot fathom people going the other direction. Who the fuck wants to go back to cutting kids' tits off and boys' dicks? And who wants to go back to that fucking rainbow cult shit? Who wants to go back to that? I mean, it's going to be, I don't know. I mean, the midterm elections in 2028, it's wild shit, but you have a lot of, they're trying to start a revolution. They always have been. That's what the left does, but they're trying to they're trying to goad him and goad the National Guard and stuff into an event. They want him to crack down more. So these are children in adult bodies that aren't fully developed mentally or physically. And they are trying to goad. They're desperate for attention. That's why children throw tantrums. They're desperate for the attention from their parents. And if they get what they want, they're going to keep on throwing tantrums and keep on protesting and like screaming in the streets and pedaling around naked. Like, look what I'm doing. Look at my tits. Yeah, I'm protesting. It's just this weird attention grift. That's why they dye their hair magenta or bright fucking green and pierce their face. They're desperate for attention. That's why, kids do the whole goth thing when they're in high school and stuff. They're desperate for attention, finding their identity. They don't know who they are until the Democrat, tell them who they are. And like, what you should be angry at, it's that person. It's those people. That's what cults do. There's always an other. You're always victimized. It's always someone else's fault. They don't take responsibility. They don't have kids. They kill their babies. They eat garbage food. They're mentally insane. And it's easy for manipulative psychopaths in office to, direct stupid people's attention. Scream at those people. They're the ones that hurt you. Those people. That's what this is. So it is good versus evil. It's always been there, but this is just, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. We're experiencing it. And it's hard to grasp that. And it's unfortunate because a lot of you have friends and family members that have been co-opted, and there's no having conversations with people. And it's really unfortunate, but it's inexcusable. And the last few years have shown you who the authoritarians are, the ones that forced you to inject your body with these toxins to keep you from your loved ones when they were ill, to lock you in your homes, to shut down the parks, shut down the beaches, shut down the gyms. They want you dead. And it's a tough pill to swallow. It really is. So you got to find your community. You got to find places that are going to allow you to be an American nowadays. In places like Portland, Chicago, and LA, they're gone. They have fallen. And the question is, are these places bad enough for people to actually leave enough in droves or to vote differently? And it's just not there yet, which is shocking. I know for people that have a couple brain cells and are paying attention even loosely, how is it not bad enough yet? How can you want to live in that kind of squalor and that kind of despair? It's really frightening. So anyway, let's give away today's Swole card. We'll do 2 throwbacks. We'll bring this up a notch. All right. So Swole card time. Hashtag SwoleAF. Let's give this one away. All right. Today's winner of Swole AF is Pam. Congratulations, Pam. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, Swole card 3452 in the subject, and your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations.
And that's the way, I like it. Is she on the Sunshine Band?
All right, congratulations, Pam. Send us that email. We'll get you this Swole card. A bunch of Swole cards are going out So if you've been waiting on them, we kind of fixed a few logistics and we're back to sending them out regularly. So you got a bunch of Swole cards coming. If you're waiting on one, it is in the mail. So we're looking forward to you getting them and rocking them on your wall. Let's get into a couple TBTs. Let's do this one. Foist. PCOS.
Officially diagnosed with PCOS.
What?
I'm sitting with a lot of feelings because this is an answer to a lot of hormonal issues that I've had for many, many years.
This is the sad part. Finally, after all these years, she's diagnosed with PCOS, and then she's going to say, this is the answer for all the things my entire life. No, it's your shitty diet and your shitty habits. I'm just going to go out there and say it.
Just the fact that those people were harassing me for so long over my weight, which was a result of a chronic condition.
No, I'm pausing it because I know where it's going to go. No, it was all your habits that led to that, and now you're going to backdate your PCOS. It's like, oh, that was the issue from the beginning. No, that's a result of all your habits.
That is, while like semi-treatable, ultimately incurable. This whole time, I had PCOS.
This whole time, people that are saying this kind of stuff, it's like you trash your health for years and years and decades, maybe even, and then you're finally diagnosed, and then you're like, oh my God, this whole time, you see? It's not because I ate like crap and I was obese and X, Y, and Z. It's all about getting diagnosed, right? You'll blame it on ADD or ADHD or anything you can label, which is really just nonsensical way of pushing off responsibility. Yeah, true. All right, we got one more, and then we're ready to rock this weekend. Very excited. Here we go. Uno más.
Saying that the periods trans women get are fundamentally different than the periods cis women get because it's
What?
What a retard.
The periods that men get versus the periods women get. Well, men don't get periods, so.
How you like them apples?
It's from medicine we chose to take, as if that medicine isn't the same shit that gives you your period. Oh my God. And then she's just like,
what?
You can't get a period without a uterus. No, you can't menstruate without a uterus.
You can't menstruate without a uterus? Holy shit.
Period is a collection of symptoms that trans women get from the same stuff that you have. Yeah, we have to take it, but it's the same stuff. Now, it's a little used, but this thing, when it's full, that's 4 months of periods.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Well, you kind of need the lady parts to have lady part things. I'm done. I got nothing. Fam, thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Join the fam, swolenormousx.com. We're gearing up. We are ready for Fuck Your Resolution season, and we are turning up the heat here on the Daily Swole. Lots more to come to close out the year strong, so we're just getting started. Appreciate you all for being here. swolenormousx.com to join the fam. Get yourself some bull milk. Check out the Fuck Your Resolutions merch. Everything available over there, swolenormousx.com and papaswolio.com. Appreciate you, and we will see you next time. Peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint. Yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah. Whoa. My shit is relevant. On topic. My melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets.